Hi, I'm Josh Finn from J&H Aerospace. This is the build video for the J&H Aerospace Firefeather rocket glider, DLG, and hotliner combo. You can use it for all three of those applications without a configuration change to the aircraft, so long as you're using a folding prop. I have a fixed prop here, so you do have to remove that if you're going to fly this as a rocket glider. You can DLG it a little bit with that on there, but you know, it does detract from the performance. So this is a 30-inch wingspan airplane. It's a 4-channel, so you're going to have elevator, flaperons, and your throttle. So to get the most out of the airplane, you do need dual aileron control with flap, camber, mixing, and all of that. If you fly Tyrannus, you can use the Tyrannus Plus program that's on the DLG section of RC groups. Highly recommended. Makes the airplane very easy to trim. You can delete the rudder mixing on that and use that to run your throttle on one of the rotary switches on the transmitter. Additionally, the aircraft has an 18mm engine mount for rocket power. So we do need to talk about things that you need before we get started with our build, things that you need to actually use this aircraft. So we do recommend fiberglassing the fuselage. Fiberglass is included in the kit. I show a very simple, straightforward way to do that that's not too messy. You need an appropriate motor. This is a 1306 motor from Emax. It's 3300 kV. You can go up to 4000 if you're going to run small props on 3S. If you go up to 4S, you really want the 3300 kV version. This is a 3x5, I think it's an Azure Power prop, a variety of small quad props that work. I recommend, though, if you're going to fly it on 2S, get a 5x3 folding prop from Hobby King. They have a real small prop. You do have to drill out the center of it, but that mates very well to this motor. It's a very good match and gives the aircraft unbelievable performance. And additionally, you can stick that prop on there and just leave it on there if you're flying rocket power or DLG. One other thing, this aircraft, like I said, is designed to run 18mm motors. You have to cut a blowhole right here to run Estes motors, and you can only run like a C60. You don't want to run an engine with an ejection charge. And this hole allows the blow-by from the end of the motor run to come out the top. If you don't have that, the motor will eject out the back, and I have had it hit the fin on this airplane, and the damage is pretty significant if that happens. So you want this setup. You want a little spacer there to keep the motor from going all the way forward. Now, a way around that is to use reloadable engines from Aerotech. These are a little bit on the pricey side as far as the engine, but once you've got this casing, it's a one-time purchase, and now you can run reloads that are tuned for radio-controlled gliders, and this engine mount assembly fits this as a direct match. And they're plugged, so no ejection charges to worry about. Pull spring on the elevator, so just be prepared. This is not a rigid linkage. If you can see, I can move this one direction. And of course your flaperons. I supply microlight covering in the kit that you'll use to actually do your covering, and that seems to be sufficient up into the 100 mph range on your speeds. So with that, let's get started with unpacking the kit and doing the build. Okay, so we're going to get started with the build by looking inside and seeing what's in here. Now, this is, in general, a little bit big of a box for this. We're working on getting smaller ones. But in the meantime, it works out great for y'all because everything packs nicely. So first of all, you're going to have your instruction manual with a few goodies in it, templates and whatnot for a few of the key parts. We're not going to have templates for everything because there's some fairly long pieces in this kit. Next up, roll of covering film. You'll have microlight in your kits, assorted colors. Sorry. There's going to be a small bag of fiberglass cloth. Actually, I'm going to take the rest of this out and just set the kit box aside. So, bag of fiberglass cloth for the reinforcing we mentioned. Your parts bag right here, it's going to have several items in it. So we'll drop all of these out. So you're going to have 2 push rods. These are 1/32 piano wire push rods, and so they'll have the Z-bends in one end, the other end is not set, and you'll set that up once you actually assemble the aircraft. You will have a wire hook for retaining your rocket motor, and of course the motor tube, the mounting tube for the rocket motor. You'll have an Estes 1/8 inch launch lug. You may choose not to use that. That's just for those of you that don't have a glider style launch setup at your disposal. You have a carbon fiber throwing blade for discus launching it. You have a length of Kevlar thread that you'll use for your pull string. Those of you that ask why are we using Kevlar specifically for that, the reason we're using Kevlar is because that area is exposed to the hot engine exhaust, and we want something that can withstand those high temperatures. You're going to have a short little piece, I don't know if this even shows up on the camera, of 10,000th piano wire, and that's going to provide that's going to be used to make your spring for your pull spring elevator. You'll have a 256 screw and blind nut, which is used to attach your wing. And so that's all of your hardware. Put all of those items away. Now we'll look at your wood parts bag. Try not to lose that piece of 10,000th piano wire. It does tend to wander and get lost. So inside your wooden parts bag, you'll have something that's not wood, and that is a 3/16 inch tail boom for this model. You're going to have a small piece of 1/64 ply. These are the reinforcements for your throwing blade. You're going to have a piece of 1/32 plywood, which is going to have your engine mounts, forward engine tube closure, main fuselage former, control horns, and some other parts. Yes. You're going to have some 1/4 inch balsa for your wing leading edges, and a few other reinforcements in there. You're going to have your tail, your horizontal tail and your vertical tail. This is 1/16 inch balsa. Way higher at the camera. You're going to have your 1/16 balsa fuselage sides and a few more formers on here. You're going to have your 1/16 inch balsa. Yeah, we've got 3 1/16 inch sheets in here. So these are going to be your fuselage top and bottom, the engine mount tube former inside your fuselage, and you'll also have all of your wing ribs on this sheet. And then the last sheet, this is 1/8 inch balsa. This is going to be your wing tips, your wing hold down mount, and your flaperons / wing trailing edge spars, whatever you want to call that structural element. Rear spars, I believe, is the correct term. So that concludes all of the parts inventory. So from here, you're going to step into the part 2 video, which is going to show you how to assemble the wings. So we'll catch you over there.